I'm here at a very windy Wilton Mill for the final test before the first round of 100 UK, which happens this weekend. And I'm going to be trying out some really cool new equipment. This stuff's been provided to me by KKC, and they include things like the new Alfano 7. So this is an upgrade on the lap timer I had last year, and it has extra features that I couldn't take advantage of in my GX UK season in 2024. So we're going to be able to monitor tyre pressures and temperatures live, and I'll be able to see those on my dashboard. I'll talk to you a bit more about that later. I've also got a new G meter built into the car. That Alfano 7 also has a higher refresh rate, so we're going to have more accurate GPS. I'm going to be able to analyze the data a little bit more accurately. And in addition to that, we're also trying out some fantastic new physical items, some consumables which everyone uses for karting, sprockets and chains. KKC have given me these new Senso Pro sprockets. You can tell which ones they are because they're bright blue and they're on the wall in the KKC shop just around the corner there. These are lighter, they're stronger, and they're going to hopefully stand up to all of the abuse that this TKM is going to give them today. We're also using the CZ219R chain, so nice strong chain. We don't want anything breaking during a race or a test run. Something else that KKC have given me to try out. For today, we're also using this really fancy, lovely Alfano tyre pressure gauge, which is super accurate, so you'll be seeing me use that throughout the day too. And in addition to all that, I'm going to be trying to get the driver ready for the 100 UK round this weekend. I need to get used to the track. I need to really get on top of these karts and this formula so I can be fast and get a good result. So let's go. So another thing we're doing today is scrubbing in the tyres ready for the race weekend, and that's not because I want scrubbed tyres, it's because there's been a shortage of tyres. One of the rules they've implemented for this weekend is that you can't turn up with brand new sticker slicks. So I'm going to get these scrubbed today so that I don't have to worry about doing that during the practice on Saturday. So this is what they look like when they're lovely and fresh. One last thing to mention is we also have, from Alfano, this temperature sensor. So I'm going to be able to keep track of my spark plug temperature when I look back at the data afterwards. I'm not allowed to run any of those sensors on the race day itself, but for practice and for a test day like this today, perfect. I'll be able to keep track and look back at the end of the day and see at what temperatures the engine was running fastest, when it felt the best, and try and make some kind of correlation. We're about to go out to scrub in these racing slicks here, so going to be a very, very different run to normal. This is also an opportunity to test everything else. There's quite a lot of changes since I last drove this car. Tom, if all I get done in this session is I scrub these tyres and I scrub the practice tyres, then I'm happy. And it operates.
That's what I'm aiming for. Yeah. I'm aiming for it to start, scrub these and scrub the other set.
Hopefully nothing fall off, and if it does, at least I found it today. Right, here we go then.
Ready?
Right, well it went. Okay. I've noticed a problem already. My dash display holds the revs on the screen for too long, so I can't see what revs I'm pulling up to Christmas, because it shows you the revs that you were pulling as you cross the start line. So I might need to change that, but that's easy. Thanks for doing the front, Steve. It started alright, didn't it? Same again then. Oh, nearly. Let's try again. Might have been a bit too flooded on my way in. It's not going to go. Doesn't want to go. Retro karts. Yeah. Right, we need to get the trolley, take it back. Why did that not start? I'll try it with a gun, because there's no reason that shouldn't start. Nothing? That doesn't want to go at all, does it? And it was just running fine. It just worked absolutely fine. And now it won't go again. Let's get the spark plug out. Maybe it's flooded. Or drive. I just want to drive the go-kart.
Yeah.
So annoying.
I don't know if I've turned that off yet. No.
I came back in for some checks, but I then couldn't get the kart started again on the way back out of the pits. We pushed it a few times, we used the starter gun, nothing at all. I choked the engine on the way back into the pits, thinking I'd be looking after it, and I now know that was a mistake, or I think that was a mistake. I think I flooded everything. Changed the spark plug now, changed the carb, and it just works again. So I'll try and avoid doing that in future. I'll try to be a bit too careful. So this is all a bit of a learning curve for me. This time out, I'm just going to push hard. We're on the old test tyres now, so same tyres I used the last time I was here. They're pretty warm, but it's also much warmer than it was last time I was here. It's 8 degrees ambient right now. This time we'll give our CZ chain, our Senzo Pro sprocket, and all the Alfano equipment we've got this time a bit more of a proper test. Wish me luck, here we go. Okay, little midday update. I've been working through setup changes. We've been doing various things. I really want the front end to turn in better. That's the main thing we're trying to figure out, and I'm just tweaking the car, widening the front, now starting to widen the rear to see if we can just get it to turn in a little more like I want it to. But there is ultimately going to be a limitation to this tyre. It's quite a hard tyre in this series. I've been monitoring my temperature, so I can see how hot the engine's been getting each time, which is a first, so that's quite interesting. I'll keep an eye on that and see from the data when it's feeling best and whether that correlates with a particular temperature. Not a lot I can do about the temperature. There's no radiator I can open or anything like that, but it is interesting to know that. And the new Alfano 7 is just awesome. It's just so cool to use. So I might tweak the screen. I might change some of the information on my screen, and at the weekend coming up on Saturday, you're going to see me use the tyre pressure and temperature sensors. But for now, we're going to go and work on some more driving, see if I can get the lap time down even more. I'm about 0.3 quicker than I went the last time I was here. See if I can go any faster. Here we go. Right, we've finished the final session. You've already seen it. This has been a great day. So I have to say, this Alfano 7 has been pretty epic. I'm looking forward to looking back through all the data when I get back home and I can look on my laptop. Knowing what the engine temperature was all through the day has been a really nice positive. So that's a real nice addition. I'm not allowed to run that during the race itself, but for practice, that's cool. Just to keep track of it, just so I know where we stand. The Senzo Pro sprockets have been awesome. The chains, I mean, what can you say? You can't feel a difference in the chain, but the fact that it hasn't broken is obviously good, and I'm pretty confident that's going to go for another couple of days. I will refresh it though for the next one, but you can just tell the quality when you get it out of the box. I'm really looking forward to running the temperature and pressure sensors on the test day on Saturday, and you're going to see that right now. Good evening. We're back after the test day. What you're going to see shortly is actually the practice day for 100 UK round 1, but I'm just going to show you the kind of stuff that we're doing. Tom's still here helping me. Isn't he lovely? Tom's driven down and driven a van so that I could get to the test day, and he's now stayed back here to help me clean this car. Nice friend. Right, anyway, this is what we're doing. So the rear of the cart here needs a full strip down. In fact, the whole cart really needs a strip down and clean, even though we've been testing one day. And the things that we're doing are checking for wear on components like the brand new sprocket that I put on. I can already see we have a little bit more wear on one side than the other. This sprocket, so that suggests that maybe I didn't align it quite right. We do have a laser alignment tool, but we'll do that again. So I'll double check that, because this needs to get me through next weekend too. I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to clean the chain up. This was brand new on for the final session. Different engine on, different carb, different exhaust flex. So I've already cut brand new exhaust flex because the old one was horrible. After just one test day, this is what the exhaust flex looked like. It was all a bit gnarly and mangled. So I've already cut a brand new piece ready for the practice day that you're about to see shortly. What we're also going to do is take a little look at the data over here on the laptop. It'd be really nice just to see why it was quicker today versus the last time I was at Wilton Mill. So over here, we've got the laptop set up. I'll show you that in just a moment. I'm using the Alfano Pro software here. It was slower over the start line today, slightly quicker on the entry to Oblivion, the right-hander of Oblivion that I started to pull. And you can see here, I was just dragging a little bit. So I was a 10th up by the time I braked for Christmas. And in the braking zone, I made up loads of time, but I had to over slow. Interesting. I was still trying too hard because look, I lost it all and then I was a 10th down. I was quicker last time I was here at Christmas by going in way slower. No. 2 tenths available by me going slower into Christmas. We'll kind of leave you to watch us cleaning up the car, making it ready, putting on the practice tyres, putting on the practice engine, all that stuff. And I'll see you back at Wilton Mill for the 100 UK practice day. See you there. Good morning, everyone. So this is a continuation from the test day on Wednesday. It's now Saturday and we're here at the Access Karting Wilton Mill, round 1, and I've got my kart back here. Everything's been re-prepped. The big news for today is that we've got tyre pressure and temperature sensors in these practice tyres. So I can't wait to see how that displays on the dashboard. I'm going to be learning. So my Alfano 7 here is going to show me that information on the dashboard. You're going to see that through my eyes, and that means I'm going to be able to monitor what my pressures and temperatures are like through the session. Rather than having to run and grab a pressure gauge after to check my hot pressures, I'll know them on the in-lap, which is going to be awesome. So can't wait to see that. Can't wait to see that on the data. We've also got the rest of the team here who are all still competing in GX UK. So we've got my brother Paul.
Hey man.
We've got Alex over here, Alex Vangeen at Alex Vangeen Racing. So I'm also still using this awesome Alfano pressure gauge, which allows you to take the pressure of each tyre individually in order so you can remember what they were. So you don't have to just keep it in your mind like me. When you've got a terrible memory, it's easy to forget which tyre you've done. So let's give that a try now. It also self-calibrates every time you turn it on. So I know it's nice and accurate to the 100th of a PSI. So this is cool. Right, let's go. So hopefully you can see there, I've set each pressure to 16 or 16.1. I'm close enough. So that's my cold starting pressure. And it is cold. There's a few things we're going to change as the temperature changes, and one of them is obviously the pressure. We'll be coming down in pressure as the ambient temperature rises. We're also going to change the spark plug. Now I've got in here the NGK number 9, and I've also got a number 10, and what I'm told is if you're wearing a jumper, then you should be running a 9. If you're wearing a t-shirt, you should be running a 10. So let's see whether that holds true, or whether I can even tell a difference. I've also got a couple of different carburetors to try, plenty of things, but because we already did the test day on Wednesday, hopefully there's not too much to change on the car. I'm hoping it's going to be pretty much as I want it. Now, one big change for today is the fact we've got a tyre barrier added at the final chicane. Now, I was testing all day on Wednesday, being able to use the normal amount of curb, which is up to the 2 plastic bollards. But for the Access Karting weekend, they've deemed it necessary to put extra tyres there, which unfortunately means a lot of my practice through that particular corner at least is wasted. I'm also a little bit concerned that my retro stub axles here could be snapped, and I don't really want to break stuff by being forced into a tyre barrier. So I'm going to have to be particularly careful there. That understeer problem we were having on Wednesday is going to be exacerbated by a tighter final corner. So you're going to see how it plays out. Wish me luck. Here we go. Wow, what a day. Okay, that was some trials and tribulations. It was difficult for a number of reasons. We had things go wrong. I nearly rolled the car, as you've seen. I've now got a bent chassis, which isn't ideal. I've done a wide sweep of setup changes. I think we've ended up with something roughly okay. I think I found the direction. Moving the rears wider has made the biggest change of the day. We went extreme. Slightly concerned that maybe I've actually been revving higher than I thought, and maybe I set a minimum that was a little bit too low on the screen. So I'm going to check that out using the data in just a moment. That's one of the beauties of the data here. I can use Bluetooth and figure out what's going on. But I tell you what definitely worked was seeing my tyre pressures live during a run. I could actually glance down at the screen and see exactly what all my tyre pressures were, and that was just mega. So cool. And before each run I could check the pressures and see what they were, so I knew ahead of time whether I needed to make any tweaks. It was just so cool to know that information accurately without having to get the gauge out and check each time. Brilliant. The Alfano's been awesome. I now have a big strip down ready to do for tomorrow, so I'm going to say goodbye because I've got tons of work now to do here tonight before I can leave. Hit me up in the comments if you've got any questions about any of the kit I've been using. And if you haven't already seen it, check out the video of the race, which is going to happen tomorrow, but I'll have already posted it by now and you'll be able to see it up here. So click on this link, watch the next one. Thanks for watching. Love you, bye.